Minia Nana Aba Anamoah aba bedi nkomo e dia fa the Ashanti Kingdom ho. Na asem a all kan me hu ni se oya Ashantini a anka by now ope. Na anka ode be hoho ne ho yie pa. Na nsan a na Otumfuo Osei Tutu abibio oye ne hima ayie no. Wo hwe culture display amamre ne amane a ekọ e wa Ashanti man mu a eno na Nana Aba Anamoah osei wo hwe the whole of Africa se eba culture display a nobody and obetumi ede ne die compare the Ashanti Kingdom inti o patch let's say omo nkran omo doma bunu ene Ghana fa na nyina no nobody can be compared to the Ashanti Kingdom of Kumasi inti oba bedi nkomo e de afa Otumfuo Osei Tutu abibio de oyeye ena no ayetwamu emra na oba hema na yiye no ekoso ewo Kumasi no ehun wadi nkomo bebre ni video no wo ho ye bekwa kwahwe eno na MC ya yebo a ono so wadi nkomo bi e de afa mmofra ta mo na ayiye no ekoso no se akomfo no omo ba na mmofra bi edidi omo nchen mmofra no kura ebi nko etumi ekọ Otumfuo anim na okwakọ display bi eno na Ghana kasa na omo kan se ede ya ye di ye mmofra e wo se anka omo ewo school mu na ye jai omo na omo ye this kind of things no enti ebeboa omo ana eno se hey mo kasa ansem no munyai asebe obi oye Kristo ni no okọ asori a one ne ba na ekọ obi a oye Muslim so okọ nkramodan mu a one ne ba na ekọ na adenti na omo ye traditionalist omo ede omo ma fantitiem sene ebe ya some years to come omo so se omo ni ho a saa mofra no ebe represi omo no adenti na mo kasa sa ede afa saa asem no ehun nti amsi ya yebo anso wa kire na dwen ede afa saa asem no o say we should leave everybody to practice his or her culture or religion inti ono nso wa kire na dwen e de afa saa asem no the answer na ye bekọ Nana Aba Anamoah na asem no so no yentie amsi ya yebo ono nso na asem a waka e de a kire Ghana fo omo na omo criticize mmofra na ye tru ni omo na daache omo abaye fetis anase akomfo ewo Ghana memu ha no ehun ye koba ye betoa so e ya hwe Nana Aba Anamoah nso na asem a waka e de afa Otumfuo Osei Tutu abibio the Ashanti King ehun meda wasi
enkola na wo mu kom na me hwe commentary na eba na enye fe because empress unim bibi matena se ehunu se yenye Christopher se ye wo ye manga ye de omu si asori dem ye started to think kola no ewo nyamesum eni nyamesuro mu efi asori dem ma omu nyini obi anka nkyerɛ se twen ma oba nyini ansa na wa ye den watete no sanso na yenuanom traditionalists so Muslims wo nyina saa na wo tete omba ntia ye den na wo ka catch comfort say o abuse ne ba anaso obi a odi ade se o abuse ne ba se on fa akola ni ko school anase say sesebio enkola ni nyina no ye gya wo mo ama omo nye akom ni we ya wan na wo ba betoa ye tradition ye culture so because omo wo ne ebia 50-100 years to come no mu bebre ko enti enchirima wo ho a wo mo so mbetoa so a ye de be preserve ye culture ni ye tradition no enti ye best say as people we should learn to be tolerant of encrofor religion any niema wo mu gidi se we ye Kristoni a sebio enkogina bebi enkoka se sebi mpradua wo abosomsom sebio eye nkwase asem sanzu na men ko gina baabi enko kire se unua kremoni a wono som ne som no enye wo de no enu na wugidie enu na ye adwuma ma wo hweso na ye what you say then don't talk down on other people's religion because my who commentary ni bebre wo social media is very distasteful enye kama your best stress say yenye ti we me ye Kristoni me ntumi nkokasa down on somebody's religion because on also need the no we okay say obepe say obi beba wudie mu but don't talk down on other people's religion nti adesua de ni jebe bebre wo ha ye beso
yes sister no wakasa yie pa wa kire na adwen ye se adwenkyele wo ho ye te se nipa de sani ye hwene obia ene ne de obi die so obi die so a obi die tenten obi die nso tietia enti akomfo na na munim die omo ebi obi be kan se mofra yi omo da ache enye papa but sebe onu a wawo ne ba no onu ena wonim de wode ne ba no fa so ebi obuko school na Saturday no o se asante hema wenye obi akeke o enti se odafo mu a na e wo se omo nso omo ye bibi a be hye na dumunyam enti di na omo eye no me ametie me hu fum so bia e wo ho mofra no me gidi se omo eko school na ebia saada no e na omo anko so omo nko school kura sebe enye school ko ana nipa eko edi yeye obi ansi school dan mu da na enso the person is well to do ye kan omo wo sika e wo Ghana memu ha emu dodo wosai e na sebe omo ye abenya dwuma but wo mse nimdie no ehia de unya eboa e wo kwan mi so but nipa na nko school na no ntire say the person is not going to be successful in life enti MCI eboa no so wa kire na dwen timinua yenko Nana Aba Anamoah adansidie a wodi e dia for the Ashanti Kingdom osese ba culture amamre ene amania they are number 1 ono oye votalian as oye 50-50 oso mame eye votalian eno papa nso free Cape Coast side but he is not going to lie akamfo Osei Tutu ye video no emna nansa na be video no unya subscribe ya na wa subscribe na bibia la ayekama like video we se na be ya system no nso e be pushi e dia mamamfo no monye bi awe yentie Nana Aba Anamoah na yemra e ko be beto aso meda wase.
I think the major failing for this funeral, in this funeral, I mean, you don't have to be an Ashanti to admire what happened there. I'm a Fanti. My mom is Ewe. But you cannot take away the culture, the history, the tradition, the authority of the Ashanti Kingdom. It's untouchable. It compares to none, you know. It compares to none. And, you know, it's beautiful. And say adiwe this week if you, and I'm not criticizing the kingdom, I'm just criticizing the media. If you watch other funerals, and I have to bring in Queen Elizabeth's funeral, right? Or share on any channel, you had royal commentators who understood the nitty-gritties of the funeral. Omukuta trumpets way. It is symbolic. This is what it means. When you watch that funeral from Westminster Abbey, it is education from the beginning to the end. What we haven't done really well in Ghana is to specialize. You know, specialize. There should be people who have authority over things like this. It doesn't have to necessarily be an Ashanti. Historians. Now, why we failed was that we have royal historians in this country. We have people who understand the tradition. They understand what happened. So what we could have done as media houses was to rope them in, because that's what happened with Queen Elizabeth. ITV had it, BBC had it, Sky had it, CNN, they all had it. It was education. And yes, Obi can say, TikTok, no, be so can, because the stories were too many, and at some point you didn't know which one to believe. Into going forward, and I think this wasn't the main funeral, right?
Yeah, this
is not the main.
Where I found some where Dotty, I found some. I just only for France.
You see, I didn't even know this. No, we have time to plan it properly. Say the coverage now. We're seeing multiple cameras. There's a camera might be crossing way because I'm watching what TV was a bit talking.
You should have watched UTV, because it was like,
seamless.
Hey. Was
quick one exactly. Media house, because
it was live too, and you recorded. It was live.
There was an experienced person like Nana Aba.
Okay. Then that is excellent. That is excellent. So going forward, the other media houses should watch and learn. You know, it's very important. Now to go back to the point Lexi made, very important points, because we are not telling our stories. And I don't know how, and I know we're talking about national film dialogue. How do we compete with Hollywood, Bollywood, when we are telling the same stories as they are telling? You cannot teach anybody how to be romantic. But the Ashanti story, the dance story, the Fanti, the Ever story, they are authentic stories. I mean, it is shocking that till date, no one has done anything on Yasatwa. No, if the story is compelling and if it's compelling and exciting, you don't need to go and look for the money. Netflix will put the money in. They will produce it and call it a Netflix original. they will adopt it. Yet a horse and obe so be free America. And now baby aba be ye Yasantua movie. And now say come for noche. Or the gentleman who brought cocoa, Fernando Po. Fernando Po, no they buy. You know, somebody will come and do the story and will sit back and criticize the story. But I loved what happened there. And you have to give so much credit to and what does it credit to the Ashanti Kingdom? Because it was what sort of find a way to reconcile tradition and modernity. Because you wouldn't expect certain things to be on TV because they were sacred. But they allowed it. They allowed it because they want to tell their to show their dominance, to show how powerful they are. It's what you check right now in your Santinia. And you know what it's nice. And also what even made it very beautiful and it speaks to the wisdom of His Royal Majesty the King is the way every celebration in the kingdom unites Ghana. Because people came from all walks of life, from Volta, from North, from everywhere. And so it also speaks to the unity of this country and the immense power the Ashanti King wields. And we cannot, I mean, I've seen people on social media sometimes try to say, Ashanti, I said, sit down. Sit somewhere. He's the Ashanti King. There is not like that in Africa. He's the most powerful king in Africa, and we have to respect it and the reverence the Ashantis and this celebration gave to the royal stool, because it's not even the man. It's the stool. You know, it's it's powerful, and we need to give reverence to the man on the stool, and I think that's what panned out perfectly well. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayasemu, we dey a stray bullet pa na wodi ama domanfo. Omze na nsan domanfo and I said domanhene one the Ashanti Kingdom Otumfuo Osei Tutu. Omo ewo banta bi ba Otumfuo de saa nsem na ya domanhene oba bekeka no ono de onsuso so. Aha, ba domanhene de da bia osori ana, excuse me to say allegedly na watutu bi e de amane Otumfuo ne mpanyimfo. Inti wutie de Nana Aba Anamoah all kan sese ya say Otumfuo eba amamre ne amane culture display a obia emeno no domafo nso saa asemu yi omobeso mu say o see the whole of Africa nobody can be compared to Otumfuo Osei Tutu abebio. The second Nana Aba Anamoah nso wa kire na adwen de ono na adwen eye no no na wa kire no, and we have freedom of speech ebia de walking one no enya adwen nti also the way our adwen echile wo no na afa eno ono de na adwen chile na ode ababontin no nti menua me ma mekasa enye tenten me de wo ebesia na ansa na yebe kono mesra wo se obehwe wo so yie me ne wo ebehie bi ba wonya subscribe ya ma menka wo se subscribe na bibi biara enye kan ma share video we so fa to different platforms so na from so enye bi enhwe nyankopon kan ho me ne wo ebehie bi sisi ye de makra bye bye.